Welcome back, movie lovers. Today, we dive deep into the politically charged and morally twisted world of Raid 2, directed by Raj Kumar Gupta, a sequel that tries to balance mass appeal with investigative drama, carried on the shoulders of a powerhouse cast. While the storyline may follow a predictable trajectory and some subplots, like Vani Kapoor's, feel painfully forced, performances by actors like Amit Sayal and Ajay Devgan ensure we stay hooked until the very end. Let's break down what really happened in Raid 2, how Amey Patnaik once again turned the system upside down, and what the film's dramatic ending really means for the characters and for India's fight against corruption. 7 years have passed since the infamous raid on MP Rameshwar Singh. Behind bars but not broken, Rameshwar's thirst for revenge hasn't dimmed. Meanwhile, Amey Patnaik, now a seasoned IRS officer, is gearing up for his 74th raid, this time targeting the royal palace of Kanwar Kuldeep in Jaipur. But then something odd happens. Amey, the beacon of integrity, suddenly asks for a 2 crore rupee bribe. The news spreads like wildfire, shaking the very foundations of the income tax department. The once feared officer is transferred in disgrace to a remote city called Bhoj. But what seems like a fall from grace is actually Amey's master plan. He orchestrated his own downfall.
Why?
To go undercover and investigate a bigger fish, the Home Minister, Data Manohar Bhai, a man who hides his corruption behind charity foundations and godlike public image. Bhoj is no ordinary city. It's Dada Bhai's fortress, a place where he manipulates politics, runs fraudulent welfare programs, and operates without leaving a single trace of crime. When Amey first visits the Sushma Jan Kalyan Foundation, he sees a towering statue of a golden hand, an oddity in a place dedicated to humility. He grows suspicious. When he receives intelligence about Dada by hiding black money on his cropland, Amey pounces. He conducts his 75th raid, but shockingly, finds nothing. No cash. No documents. No evidence. And when he returns to examine the statue, it's no longer gold, it's bronze. To add insult to injury, Amey is suspended and asked to vacate his quarters. The corrupt but crafty Lalan Sadir, played brilliantly by Amit Sayal, takes his place. He immediately shows loyalty to Dada Bhai, or so it seems. But the plot thickens. In a tense scene outside Dada Bhai's residence, an elderly protester passes a tiny piece of paper to Amey. On it a name, Neha Rathod, a railway employee, a woman from Dada Bhai's past. Amey's investigation into Neha reveals a dark chapter of Dada Bhai's life. She had committed suicide, leaving behind a note blaming him, but it never reached the authorities. Soon, more horrific truths come to light. Dada Bhai wasn't just hoarding black money, he was exploiting young women, forcing families to sell their land and using his influence in the railways to trap and abuse them. A breakthrough comes from Vinay, Amey's batchmate, who pretends to work for Dada Bhai but is actually feeding Amey critical information. Another ally emerges, Vikram Gehlot, a Delhi-based lawyer, who pretends to accept a bribe from Dada Bhai to stay silent in court. This becomes the final step in Amey's elaborate trap. The moment Dada Bhai's men go to fetch the 2 crore bribe, Amey's team raids the location, catching them red-handed. Game over? Dada Bhai quickly realizes he's been betrayed, from the inside. He captures Vinay and tortures him. But then comes another blow. Even Vikram Gehlot, the man he trusted to defend him in court, is revealed to be part of Amey's secret alliance. All the pieces are in place. The public interest litigation, PIL, is filed. The court is presented with undeniable evidence, cash trails, property documents, and testimony. Dada Bhai's empire crumbles in front of his eyes. Dada Bhai's mother and younger brother, unaware of his crimes, confront him. With them is Malini, Amey's wife, and the very girls Dada Bhai had abused. Seeing his mother, the woman he claimed to honor through his foundation, stand in judgment, Dada Bhai finally breaks down. He no longer has the will to fight. The public, once blinded by his philanthropy, turns against him. Some even attempt to lynch him, but Amey, ever the believer in justice, stops them. In the final moments of Raid 2, We see that Amay not only finds the golden statue, which had been secretly moved, but also uncovers lavish gold fixtures in Dadabai's hotel, taps made of solid gold, ironically because he didn't know where else to hide his black money. The film ends with poetic justice. Dadabai, once seen as a messiah, is brought down by the very people he manipulated. As Dadabai is hauled away, we see Rameshwar Singh, now out on parole, forming a secret alliance with the state's chief minister. With Dadabai's network in shambles, they see a power vacuum and plot to bribe his MLAs. This is a subtle reminder that corruption doesn't die, it simply changes hands. He's survived scandal, political pressure, and personal attacks, but his war is far from over. With enemies forming new alliances, the battle for truth continues. In a country where systems are rigged and honesty is punished, Amay Patnaik remains a symbol of resistance, a man who proves that even in a sea of corruption, one spark of integrity can still start a fire.